Well, continuing my look at the potential DCU projects that James Gunn announced in his end of the month announcement in January, I looked at the Lanterns TV series, which to me was the brightest spot of the whole thing because I had met, plenty of reasons as to what I wasn't so thrilled by his direction. Hopefully, he'll prove me wrong on that. But then I went to Superman, which is the most important because it's the beginning of it, as he said himself, even though they got these other like animated projects coming along and stuff like that. But the main real start will be the Superman movie. And then I did a little talk looking at the Batman movie with Brave and the Bold and Batman and the Damian Wayne version of Robin and all that. So, but what about Wonder Woman? Especially of the big three, what does she get? She gets nothing. So there's been shows, Superman shows with no Superman. There've been tons of Batman shows with no Batman. And that was always the problem with the, well, there were plenty of problems, but that was the big part of it. So now we're going to do one for Wonder Woman. A Wonder Woman show with no Wonder Woman. So the brief description, it'll be like Game of Thrones on Paradise Island. Gee, it's an origin story of how the Society of Women came about. Well, you already know it if you know anything about the Wonder Woman story. What does it mean? It meant in order to survive, they had to leave the world of men. What are their politics like? It's a monarchy. They have a queen. What are their rules? Obey the king. Who's in charge? The queen. What are the games that they play with each other to get to the top? Well, that's a little personal, isn't it? But I think it's really exciting. Well, but then here's the main thing that Saffron adds in. The events really take place before Diana's birth. Okay, so no Wonder Woman. Still don't know officially if they're staying with Gal Gadot, but if they're doing this instead of a Wonder Woman film, and how many years will go by before they approach a Wonder Woman film while they're, casting people and spending money and producing this series, looks like Wonder Woman's been benched for a while. And if Henry Cavill aged out of Superman, well, what about Gal Gadot? And I mean, she's got to pursue other opportunities in the meantime. Is she supposed to just wait? Or do they have like cameos of her in the other films? Is she going to show up in Superman? Would she show up in Batman or stuff like that to say, look, she's still there? But it doesn't sound like it. But even if you're just going to go, okay, look, we're going to recast the role. All right. So you should be doing your Wonder Woman movie or series, however you wanted to approach it. It's like Game of Thrones, but I don't think it will be Game of Thrones because I don't think you have the money just yet, like Game of Thrones was done. And in any way, you have House of the Dragon. Just stick with that. Because all these questions here, well, it's all been answered in the Wonder Woman story. Hippolyta or Hippolyta, as some people pronounce it. I always stuck with Hippolyta. But she's the queen. I guess they could do a story where she had to fight for the leadership role, and she does. But from ancient myth, she was always the queen. And that's that, I suppose. They could have some encounters with mythological creatures, that sort of thing, the gods. But beyond that, would any of it resemble a Wonder Woman story? No, it would not. No more than the Krypton show resembled anything Superman. It didn't. It's some sci-fi show about some other planet. Well, this would be some, all-female Game of Thrones. I know they're attacking men here, so maybe like the first episode, as they escape to the island, they beat off their, they attack and free themselves from their male captors and make it to the island. But that would be it. The rest of it would just be whatever goes on between them, and I guess they'd have some plot of a civil war between the Amazons and. don't see anything to get excited about here. And the way I'm looking at it is to the detriment of Wonder Woman. There's a lot more to Wonder Woman's comic book stories and those narratives there than just, hey, she's from this mythological island, Zeus and all that. So that's a bit of a downer on that. And but the stories, rumors rather, about what the situation is as far as the money goes and about what they can do. That Superman movie is really going to have to carry a whole lot of weight to win this over. But it's 2 years away, So this is what they have for Wonder Woman, and it's no Wonder Woman. And there's not much else to say about it. It's like a spinoff before the actual star was introduced. Because it'll have, like I said, even if they stay with Gal Gadot, it'll be a different take on it than what you've already seen, I'm sure. So, yeah, of the ones I've looked at, this is the least project that I don't have much hope for this one. Because even if it is some of interest and it gets a following and it turns out to be an okay show, it's still not Wonder Woman. Not really. So, that's too bad. But, well, it is what it is.